Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. So tonight we have the Nine of Discs, Pentacles, Pantacles, Coins, whatever you want to call them. It's all about gain, right? It's all coming together. It's all happening, Virgo. So I am happy to see this card kind of bringing in the vibe of the reading. I also am a Virgo, so always happy to see the Nine of Coins come up. All right, let's see what these tea leaves are going to tell us. And I want to also say thank you for deciding to click on this reading. It is such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you and also just get to spend time with you, right? I have to say, over the last couple of years of doing this channel, I've met the best people through it. And so thank you. I love you. Let's get started. Okay, so it looks like we have this kind of moment where you're being very vulnerable. Now, I don't think that this is something, super unique for you, right? I think that you're probably a fairly, probably pretty open person, right? We're Virgos, we say what we feel. That's just what it is. Some people like it, some people don't. And if they don't, they can kick rocks, right? But it does feel like, and we're looking at this image here of, it looks like we have the head here, the body here, arm out, holding, it looks like a rose, a flower. Now we have a person standing over here. They have a heart, right? Look, right by their head. Behind the head, not in front. So I feel like this is somebody who I almost feel like this isn't necessarily like your primary relationship. If you're in a relationship, or kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's somebody you're dating. It's not the only person that you're talking to, or in a, kind of like in a situation with, right? But I feel like there are feelings. There's a crush, at least. There's some kind of attraction. I wonder, though, if it's more than that. It feels pretty, I don't know, like it's starting to get more and more intense, okay? And I feel like there's this moment where you finally just kind of take the first step, right? And maybe you've been waiting for this person to kind of give a very clear green light, right? But I feel like they're just like a very kind of reserved. And even when you do reveal yourself or your intentions, your feelings, I feel like they take the rose, and you can kind of see, it looks like a person turned this way and they're holding the flower. Okay, so it's almost kind of like they get the rose, they turn, and if you look in the middle of the person, there's the heart again. Okay, so I feel like there is a mutual attraction, desire, love. We even have the X and the O up here. But I feel like there is some kind of refrain. And that's why it kind of leads me to believe that this is something that is going to be moving slow, right? If it kind of begins at all. But I feel that you know, there is. It's very clear to me that there is this mutual wanting for one another, but it's so much about the variables, right? The circumstances of each other's lives, you know, and especially as a Virgo, right? Like, we could be attracted to somebody and want for somebody and even let it be known, but are we about to, like, you know, destroy our lives over it? I don't know. I don't know about you, but I'm not. I'd also like to mention I am happily married. I do. You probably know my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. But you know what? These things happen. You know, crushes, kind of transient interests, rekindling of old things, and there's no judgment. There's no judgment, not on my part, not at all. But I do feel like this is something that's going to continue to kind of unfurl over time. And this isn't like a quick, we met each other, we love each other, we're getting married. You know, like, whatever. I'm leaving my life to be with this person. I know that we have to be. I don't feel like it's that kind of connection. And even if it is, and even if that is how you would go about it, because listen, you know, as a Virgo, that's the other thing. We just know. We know when we have our person. You know, like for me, I have barely ever dated in my life, you know, and I've had multiple long-term relationships, but I'm always just kind of that person that, like, I meet somebody I like and I'm like, oh, okay, we're married now. No. Okay, we're together now. You know, we're very involved. Our lives are, you know, it's like almost low key on the border of maybe codependence, or what you would assume codependence looks like. But, you know, I don't know. I'm just like a super involved person. And I think that's very much a Virgo trait. My sister, shout out to my sister. Hi sis. She's also a Virgo, and I feel like she's similar, you know. And I know we're from the same family, so maybe it is our conditioning, the way that we grew up. And yeah, fair point. But most other Virgos I know, very similar, right? So this has to be something pretty serious for you. Now, it's not to say that it's fully romantic or all about eros, right? Physical, sensual connection. This could be a really good friend as well. It might even stay in that zone. You know, this might be where, you know, things kind of belong with you and this person. That you are friends, you are soulmates in that way. And that's, you know, how maybe the relationship, the friendship is more sustainable in the long run, okay? Now, as I turn this, we have this large boat. You can see, and there's the sail. We also have, it looks like something like a mandolin or a little guitar. And it looks like it says easy up here, like E-Z. So the boat, the ship, represents movement in life, like a fundamental shift. We also have the wishbone. So I feel like it's almost kind of like something has shook you from however you were living before. And I'm seeing deer, 2 deer. And it's almost kind of that moment where, if you've ever seen a deer in real life, where you come upon them, they see you, they stop. They look at you, And then they decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to freeze and hope that this person, this predator, kind of decides to move along? Or am I going to jump and run, you know? And so I feel like for you, something happened. Something happened in the last like 6 months that it feels like a huge revelation, or like you finally just like, I don't know, like somebody lied to you a little bit, or you just noticed that behavior that was a little different, or it feels like you came to an understanding that was not easy. It was a hard pill to swallow, as they say, right? And I feel like there's just such a sense of lament. I've wasted time. I don't know why I put all of my eggs in one basket, that kind of thing. And anger. There just seems to be so much anger in that moment. But I see you like playing it out for a while, trying to get through this situation and coming into this place where you, and this is where that mandolin, that guitar kind of comes in, and it's on the boat, right? So it tells me that you come to this place where you have to decide, am I going to, you know, be, and I'm thinking of my 4-year-old, my toddler, or well, she's a preschooler, I guess now. You know, that moment in the late afternoon, and she's maybe had, you know, a sweet treat, and it's starting to wear off, and she's had a long day of all of her stuff, and we're at the store or somewhere else, and you can see in her face that moment when she hits that wall of being tired, being grumpy. She's gonna start deciding to make, you know, decisions, having tantrums, throwing fits, that kind of thing, you know. And I feel like for you, it's like hitting the moment where it's like, am I going to decide to just lose it? Am I going to like throw myself into this spiraling anxiety and grief and everything else? Or am I going to pick up this guitar and get on this boat, and I'm going to sail off into the sunset, playing my song, dancing, enjoying what time I have left on this, you know, blue rock? And that's what I think it is. You're deciding, and that's why it says easy up there. It is. It is a decision. I know. It is almost impossible, especially as a Virgo, to decide I'm not going to go swimming in my resentment. I'm not going to let this anger, this rage, this hurt devour me. I'm not going to do it. No, I'm going to find a way to enjoy what is here right now. And as I get further along on my journey, I'm going to start opening the doors and the windows and letting the sun come in and letting the fresh air come in. And you know what? I might even have a little flirtation. I might even, you know, start to have a little crush. I might start courting somebody. I might start, you know, being a little bit more in love. I deserve that. And if I want it, I'm going to get it. Right? And so I do. I feel like you are choosing yourself. You're choosing in your own favor. Good for you, Virgo. Good for you. I don't know what happened exactly, but I know that you're not going to let it overrun you. Not at all. Now, I do feel like there are moments where I do feel like there are moments where there's a lot of fear. And there's a feeling of like, oh my gosh, what am I doing, right? Like I got a little too brave there. Maybe I, finalized this thing a little too quickly, or, I walked away too fast, or I was a little too harsh. Well, I understand that. We get real, we we get real brave with our words and actions at times, and we go, a little further than maybe we should, or that we wanted to, or whatever. So I feel like there is the consciousness of tempering self, right? Not fully succumbing to, these wild emotions and so on, which I know we have as Virgos, absolutely. Nobody could ever say or accuse us of being unfeeling people, because that's basically what we do all day. We're very much in our feelings, our emotions, our impressions of things. And so I do feel this sense of knowing, okay, right? Like I absolutely could just like go to all the corners of the universe, just let it all out, let it go. But also there is a tempering, a self-preservation, a sense of, okay, like we're going to go a little bit, maybe wild, right? Hopefully that's it. Maybe a little wild, have a little fun, enjoy this ride, against all odds, against all, all the things the universe has put in my way, good or bad. I'm still going to enjoy this because I'm deciding to. I'm deciding to find reasons to be excited about all of this change that's happening. And, I feel like when the fear is there, you're not letting it overtake you either, right? It is part of that tempering process. And so I do feel like the most key thing, and I know we've talked a lot about connection and love and attention and just having these deeper friendships, having more room in your life, and so on and so forth. But I also feel that this leads you, and oftentimes this does happen as things change in our life and we start to feel maybe like a little untethered, or the consistency is a little off in our life, and we're out of routine and so on. Our faith is the anchor, right? Our faith is the thing that reminds us we have this interior home, this temple of ours. And, we are still very much feet on the ground, head in the cosmos. So there is the balance, right? And I feel like there's no indication here of, just kind of abandoning that. And in fact, with the deers that we saw, I feel like this is a very spiritually potent time for you. Okay? Now, I do see we have this smiling face here. And we also have, it looks like a cat. So I do feel like this is a time where you're kind of just about your business. You're like really into whatever you're doing, right? You're not very concerned about the outside world right now. So that's where your time and energy kind of are. Now we also have the word lie, L-I-E, and we have a bird kind of posted up on the L-I-E. We have the bird up here kind of posted up there. Now above we have a fish. So this tells me that somebody in your life is going to be asking for money. You'll be getting that message maybe even today. It feels very close. but I feel like they are misleading you in some way, and you know it. And that, I feel like, is kind of a major letdown for you. You know, and that's the thing with us Virgos, is like, you can live in your truth all day long with us. You can, you know, even if it's something I don't understand or don't like or whatever, if you tell me, like, this is what I'm about, this is what I'm doing, da da da, okay, cool. You know, that's fine, whatever. But if you come to me and lie to me about why you need money or support or this or that, I'm never going to forget that. It doesn't mean that I won't, you know, forgive, but I don't trust you, you know? So I feel like this is that energy, is that, you know, somebody comes for some money and they're maybe omitting, you know, I feel almost like this might be like your grown kid, or, you know, somebody who is maybe younger and struggling in your family or whatever. And yeah, and I feel like this is going to be a little bit of an unfortunate way of trying to get your assistance. And, you know, ultimately I feel like this will kind of fracture this bond a little bit, at least, you know, maybe not in a serious and forever way, but at least in the way that, like, hey man, just be real, you know, just tell me what it is. So prepare yourself for that. All right, let's see. We have 3 lucky numbers. Number 49, number 49, number 43, 49, 43, and 35. 35. Now we're going to do our gratitude affirmation cards, and I'm going to flip through, stop where it feels right. Lunar rhythms. I am grateful for cycles and seasons, like waxing and waning phases of the moon. The patterns and rhythms of my life offer the comfort and familiarity with the newness of change. Practice. What seasons of life have you enjoyed the most? Give thanks for the cycles of time and nature that bring those seasons back to you. Give thanks for the cycles of time and nature that bring those seasons back to you. All right. And then we'll finish with our inner child inner child oracle cards. And we'll just flip through. We'll stop where it feels right. And it says, number 42, look at the deer. We have the deer. There we go. You deserve to be seen. Let yourself be known. Let yourself be known. All right. Well, Virgo, I'm going to tell you I love you right off the top here. I do. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here with me. It's my honor to bring these messages to you. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Yeah, what's going on right now? I don't even know. I don't even know. It's been warmer here. It's been warmer. We had a wild storm last night. The night before was the eclipse. The coyotes were going wild. The next night, huge storm. It was supposed to be a blizzard. It turned into a thunderstorm because it's so warm here. And it was beautiful. It was awesome to watch. We had all the windows open in the bedroom, my husband and I, and it was gorgeous. And now today, I don't know, I forgot to look. I think it's supposed to just rain for the rest of the day. So I'm not mad, but I do want to start getting my garden put in. So, but you know, I'm in the north. So even if I did have my garden going in, it could freeze still. So, wah wah. If you're doing any gardening, let me know. I love reading about people's garden experiences and all of their advices. What kind of things do you like to grow? This year we're gonna do vegetables and herbs and stuff like that for the kitchen up by the house, and then I have the bigger garden, which is gonna be a lot of vegetables and greens and things. We have a lot of deer and rabbits, so we'll see how that goes. But the big thing I'm super excited about, I'm putting in a bunch of blackberries. We're gonna put in some blackberries. I put in some ground cherries last year, and I think next year we're planning on starting to put in some fruit trees. So we'll see how all of that goes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being outside. It's all I think about lately. Whenever I'm doing the dishes and I'm daydreaming or standing on the porch watching the clouds go by, I'm thinking about that garden. So anyways, Virgo, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. Good night.